Welcome to the Legally Stupid Podcast, probably the dumbest podcast you've ever heard. Today, we're asking the question, which Dungeons & Dragons class rules them all? A 1v1 single elimination style to determine which one is the best to play. I am not the host, but I guess I will be today. I am Brando, and like always, I'm joined by my boys, artificially flavored Dyson and Donkey Daddy Soren. How are you guys today?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Decent day.
Yeah, solid day.
Yeah.
Excellent. You guys ready to get into this?
Yeah.
All right, so a little background first. So, well, first off, you've both been dungeon masters, so you guys are pretty well off in the way of knowledge when it comes to all these classes.
At least for 5th edition.
Yeah,
Yes.
for 5th edition. Yeah.
So like we were saying before the podcast, between you guys, you've played a decent amount of these, and if not, then you've seen...
There's only a couple I haven't played, so...
I know enough about the others I haven't played that it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I don't think.
Gotcha.
And it is the original 5e classes. We're not doing any additional classes like Artificer, whatever the other one is.
Player's Handbook exclusive.
Player's Handbook exclusive.
Player's Handbook exclusive. Yes, so I'm doing the original 12. They were determined with a D12, what order that we're going in.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I was going to ask you how you randomly,
Yep.
what got the bracket sorted out. So.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some in there that are going to be, for a lot of people, like if we had more people on, would be really hard choices.
Right.
Or just like how popular they are. Like.
Well, we could always do this again in the future, but with more people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So. But, so let's figure out which one is better to play. So first up, we have Monk versus Wizard.
So this is one where I have not played a monk before, but I have played a wizard.
That's the opposite for me. I have never played a wizard, but I have played a monk.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Fight it out, boys.
Yeah. I mean...
I think I played a monk, didn't I?
I think, honestly, I'm of the opinion that monk is better overall to play. I think you have to be looking for a more specific experience to play a wizard.
Yeah.
And they are just a little more thought-intensive. You have to keep track of more things. You have to be aware of what more spells do. Whereas a monk just has a pretty cool set of abilities, and you feel strong from what I've seen. The players that play monks, they tend to be some of the heavy hitters in games.
So if you go with the right subclass for monk, you can really do some real damage.
Okay.
And they're going to survive better than a wizard.
Yeah.
But
that said, though...
if you're going, like you were saying, if you're going for a specific style of play, wizard is really good for specific styles.
Right.
Like if you want to be a kind of wizard who is literally like control the battlefield, kind of a wizard, you can make a good wizard for that.
Yeah, I think wizard's arguably more powerful of a character. Like if you get a monk and a wizard both to level 20, I think your level 20 wizard probably has more at their disposal than a monk.
Right. So it sounds like with the wizard, it's you have to have a lot more knowledge.
There's a lot going on with wizards.
Yeah, whereas monks is a lot more.
And there's even some subclasses that are not great with wizards. But there's really good ones too. With monk, almost all of them are solid choices, but there are some subpar ones in there. But you could still do stuff with them.
So monks win round one?
I think that was...
I would go with monk personally.
Yeah.
All right, monk wins.
Yeah. I think they're more player friendly too, especially the new players.
Gotcha.
Like they have additional stuff going on. I mean, they're a hit kind of a class, but and they have the stuff going on with key points that you have to remember and things that they can do, but still easier than listing all these spells that you have and remembering what every spell does and all
True.
that
And
stuff.
if somebody wants to make you keep track of spell components,
then
it gets a lot more complicated.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so then I would argue that then wizard in comparison is great for the experienced player that just wants it as a lifestyle.
And it is a fun. They're both are extremely fun classes.
Very
to play.
fun to play. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me go grab a pen really quickly. Well, I guess I can go ahead and just introduce the next one. So, we have on this one... Ooh, Soren came prepared.
Pen.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is why you're Donkey Daddy.
Oh, is that Donkey Daddy because I have a pen?
Donkey Daddy with the pens.
Thank you, yeah.
Fancy twisty pen, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's very fancy. It's custom made. It was a gift.
Really? Nice.
That's why it stays with my nerd stuff.
I know two of our people who play D&D with us where monk is their favorite class.
Yeah.
Like Will's. It's Will's favorite class.
Well, and I can
Will,
probably guess
otherwise
that
known
one
as
Colton.
Kibbs.
I don't know who Will is.
Yeah.
Kibbs,
Now I gotta edit that shit out. Well, thank you.
and Colton.
Yeah,
Amongst
that's
his
what I
favorites, so,
figured.
yeah.
I mean, he was kicking some ass.
Yeah, he
Well, he had a
has
super broken magic item in that particular game.
He
too.
did, but he still enjoys the monkness of it. He likes just hitting stuff with his bare hands.
Say, I remember, say, in my old phone, Colton, his name was Monk Ass Brownie. Which was just a great name.
I wonder if anyone in our audience has ever had an incredibly broken magic item that their DM just let them have.
Yeah.
You should comment if you have.
Yeah, comment. Let us know what that item was, because some DMs like to give some OP items and stuff, like Colton's magic lucky rabbit's foot that gave him an advantage on every skill check and attack.
Bastard.
And I think saving throws too. I don't remember, but
Maybe just every time you rolled a d20.
Yeah, it might have just been any d20 roll, and he had advantage, which is insane. Yeah.
All right. So next up we have Druid versus Bard.
So I've never played a druid.
And I've never played a bard. We're the same thing again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just fate, boys. Let's hear it.
I mean, I started the last conversation off. You go ahead, Mr. Dyson.
I've never played a bard just because I've never gotten around to it. I want to play a bard because bards are probably the they have the widest range of shit you can do with a bard. There's just so much you can do as a bard. Because they have a thing where you can literally just take magic from any spell list, right? It's just like, here, I'm gonna learn these wizard spells or these druid spells, just do whatever.
It makes you really able to customize it.
Yeah.
And Bard's the one with the musical instrument.
Musical
right?
instrument,
And
so they
control
can
animals.
bardic inspiration people. They can straight up just hurt people with words, which I love.
Yeah.
It's
Vicious mockery is
they're
fantastic.
great. They're great characters. They're definitely a great class, and almost anyone can play them because you can make a simplified version of one that's not too difficult for new players, and then you can really get into just anything about a bard and everything they can do, and just make a crazy character. They're really good with expertise and jack of all trades kind of stuff. They can get good at a lot of skills and stuff too. So I would love to play a bard eventually. I think we have a bard character planned out for me that when other people are going to play some bards too, but
so it's basically the mischief class.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but what the best one? Would you argue?
Oh yeah.
The mischief classes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also
it's probably contentious with rogue for that one.
Yeah, because rogue is the one that can get the most expertise and skills, which just means they'll never fail at a certain skill check. If they put enough, expertise into something, they can just I'll never fail a stealth check pretty much, if they really wanted to. But mischievous. But I like druids too. I've played just one druid, but I already have an idea for another druid down the road. I'm gonna do straight up wildfire druid, just all fire magic.
Nice.
So a druid that wants to burn the world instead of It's a beauty. It's a different kind of nature beauty.
Okay, but
destroying everything.
But what makes druid?
What makes druid so awesome?
Yeah.
I love the idea of. So originally, when my first druid was a 3.5 character, and I wanted the druid because I originally made a ranger and had an animal companion. That character died. So then I made a druid, also had an animal companion because I wanted a companion of some kind
That
to do
character
stuff
died.
with. No, we switched to 5e,
Alright.
and Will was like, "Yeah, there's not really anything about druids with animal companions in 5e." So then I became a Circle of the Moon druid, and I transformed into animals, and I thought that was cool too.
Wait, how is that not something that carries over? How is it
tons of stuff didn't transfer from
3.5 to 5.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's it feels
it's a very different system. 3.5 is a lot like Pathfinder, or I guess Pathfinder's a lot like 3.5 is technically the truth.
Well, I get that a different system, updated mechanics, all that stuff, but I don't understand.
I barely know anything
It's
about
just
3.5.
more complicated.
So it is.
So it's just they couldn't incorporate it.
probably it didn't fit in as easily to the simplification. Also, animals are stronger in 5e, I think. Or no, they're weaker in 5e than they were in 3.5. So it's just a lot less valuable to have an animal companion, unless it's a really strong one, in which case it's going to be overpowered.
Yes.
There's not like enough middle ground animals.
It's not. Yeah, because it's animals are weak or they're powerful. Because it's like, oh, I can have a bird that flies around and basically just scouts for me, or eventually it's like, oh, I have a giant ape that just absolutely fucking destroys everything we fight. It's like it's one way or the other. In 3.5, it was, I think with the ranger, the creature like leveled up with you and shit like that, and that was what I wanted to do. And I think maybe with the monk animal companions, not the monk, druid animal companion stuff, it was similar. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do another animal companion, and then we switched to 5e, and the magic they get is pretty cool too. Like the druid magic, are they full casters? Druids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have a lot of spells they can do, and they're also probably one of the tougher spellcasters. They're
beefier.
Yeah, they're beefy spellcasters, and they can fight physically better than other spellcasters.
So I'm personally of the opinion that this is actually a really hard one, because bards and druids are both incredibly fun. They have so many things about them that are interesting and that people are going to want. So I think this one really comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
But I would say, I guess I would have to say bard. I've played more bards. I just kind of...
And so I've never played bard, so I can't really say, even though they look super fun to play. I've only had the experience with a druid.
So you would vote druid.
I would vote druid. That's more fun.
So we have our first tie. You need to break bread.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Already. Yeah. Does whatever one sounds more fun to you, you vote for.
Yeah. I think I'm.
Bards have music.
Oh, what am I doing?
Druids have,
Okay.
Druids can turn into animals.
I'm sorry, I don't want to break your pen.
Just over there fidgeting with the pen.
Yeah, with the custom pen. You're probably like over there ready to have a heart attack.
No, I'm fine. Do you want a clicky one? I might have a clicky one.
Take a regular pen.
Give me a cheaper one. Give me one way less sentimental. Thank you. I think I feel very partial to bards. Because I see them more as a mischief class, and
they definitely are. The only mischievous druid is a wildfire druid, and that's only one of however many subclasses there are. Because the rest are all very much like nature.
I think Bard wins. Yeah.
All right.
So I already have a feeling that someone's gonna not like the choices.
What, like in the viewer or something?
Yeah, I think it's very because
people happy.
Well, we've already dropped a wizard and druid.
Unfortunately for our viewers, though, these are objective stats.
Yeah.
So
yes, exactly. And it would be different with other people here too.
Yeah, but they don't give a shit about that. You're wrong.
Yeah.
They know you're wrong.
Well,
they know they're you're
wrong. Maybe they're wrong.
I mean, they are.
Well, I said they're objective. So
to them,
with the objectivity dictates that if they disagree with this list, they're the incorrect ones. So they should probably tell us about it in the comments.
The biggest one is going to be that out of the two so far that have been dropped is that wizard was dropped. That's the big one right now.
Oh, I imagine.
It's a pretty popular class.
Well, and that's also the lifestyle class. So,
right, yeah.
So who's our next bracket?
Yeah.
All right. So next we have cleric and fighter.
Okay.
I have helped a friend make a cleric and then played that for him after he left to go be somewhere else when it was like a big party, random, we played with a bunch of random people thing in the town Colton lives in that he invited me to. One of our buddies, he's like, I want to be a cleric. So I helped him make a cleric and kind of played a cleric. But I have played fighter. I played fighter more than anything else.
I've also played fighter a couple of times, and for me this is a real easy one, because unless you're the kind of person that is not interested in combat, and clerics can deal out some damage, but just the association of the role, you're kind of going to be relegated to the healing, especially for as far as your spell slots go.
They have an amazing cantrip. The clerics do. They have Toll the Dead, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So
not that they
damage
can't
dealing
deal
one.
out the damage.
But they're mostly there for heals and like protecting. You know, like they can do protective spells and shit too.
Well,
and they're really good if the whole campaign is undead shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I think clerics maybe one of the ones I know the least of. So are they kind of like the necromancers?
No, they're the healers.
They would be the opposite of that.
Oh.
I hate necromancers.
They're holy characters.
Well, I mean, those are just really good healers.
Yeah.
Necromancers.
Right, yeah.
So-
A necromancer is going to be more like a wizard probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Necromancer, wizard, or
Okay.
sorcerer generally.
Yeah.
Warlocks can do a little bit of it too.
Okay. Yeah.
So like the one that no one plays, I think this is a really easy one. But do you guys want to go more into the fighter class?
I mean, fighter is just like it's the.
It's
There's
the
so many
premier
different things.
fighting class.
Yeah, it's straight up whatever. You can be a ranged fighter. You can be a melee fighter. You can be different kinds of melee fighter. You could be one big ass weapon. You could have two weapons in each hand. Yeah, like one weapon in each hand to just fuck shit up.
Dual wielding is so cool.
Yeah, there's so many different subclasses. They have Battle Master is probably the most played one. Where you just do all kinds of maneuvers. You're stunning people. You're tripping things you're fighting. You're goading things to only attack you while the rest of your party gets like bonuses to fight this thing while it only fights you.
And on the other
shit
hand,
like
you can
that.
play champion, where you deal damage.
Yeah.
That's what you
It's
do.
like all you do. It's the simplest class to play.
Yeah. So, and fairly complicated, like with the Battle Master.
Yeah,
So-
Battle Master is what makes it'll make it complicated. There's Eldritch Knight. You can get some magic with fighter.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can basically do everything. It's probably like the first class most people end up playing.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would say fighter is better.
Fighter wins over cleric.
Oh yeah.
And I think most people would agree.
And I already have it written down.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
So it's already true.
Yeah.
Decided.
Mm-hmm. In stone, boys. All right. So next up, we have Ranger versus Sorcerer.
Sorcerer is better.
Yeah, I've never played a sorcerer. Ranger and 3.5 was fun. Ranger and 5e doesn't interest me as much, so I agree. I've looked up sorcerer, plenty of sorcerer stuff. Sorcerers are cool.
In my personal experience, it's the weird people that play Rangers.
Fuck you.
Oh yeah, have you played a Ranger?
I did, yeah.
I guess that that makes sense.
So I will.
Ranger was my first character, but this was 3.5, where they were different. You know, it was like Animal Companion.
All right. Okay. So
But,
okay. Well, you know,
5e, they're not as interesting.
then I'll just take a minute to defend Ranger. So if
Okay.
you're a noob and a pussy like me, Ranger is where it's at.
Yeah. Like the two people I think of when I think Ranger, Dylan's played a decent amount of Ranger, and I think Mary has a Ranger, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they're kind of weird.
Yeah. I think me and
Astute
Mary were
viewers of
the.
this podcast may know Mary from a previous episode.
Yes.
Oh yes, throwback.
Yeah, and Gloomstalker Ranger and 5e is good, but besides that, I don't really think they're
See,
great.
Mary and I were like the two Rangers that would always just stick in the back all the time.
Yeah, and just shoot stuff.
Yeah, just kind of.
That's
I imagine
that's what they do, and they're half casters. They got some spells and stuff, but they're just like just not
Sorcerers
amazing.
have wild magic though,
Yes,
which is fun.
which is dope. Yeah.
See, in real life, I would imagine me and Mary just being in the back, just chatting and just sort of like pretending like, so how was your day?
Slater's played a Ranger, but he did a cool thing. You know, he did like one where he could like look through the eyes of like this mystical raven that he could create.
I thought that was a warlock.
Was it a warlock?
I think that was a warlock character.
Was it? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe he was a ranger with some warlock dipped in there.
He might have been a ranger.
I think that's what
warlock
I think that's what
multiclass,
the raven stuff was warlock. You're right about that. But okay, so yeah, rangers suck. The warlock was the cool stuff.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's take a vote.
Sorcerer.
Oh yeah, sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Then. Okay. Well, I vote Ranger.
Oh dang, 2-1.
Yeah, but who has the pen? All right.
Well, I will message the group right now. Just no context. Just ranger or sorcerer.
You're just gonna do that to me.
You're just I would do it.
Just embarrass me like that.
I mean, you get some ranger votes, but
Guys, we need to put Brandon in his
there'd be more
place.
sorcerer.
So who forms our next bracket?
Yes.
The next one goes to Warlock versus Paladin.
Oh. See,
Both
that's-
use very similar stats. Charisma is one
Yeah,
of their
they're
main
almost
things.
two sides of the same coin. It's funny
Mhm.
they ended up being random.
But we have to pick
the
boys.
Paladin's the more holy defender, lawful, good kind of version of it, while Warlock is, the evil. They're connected to magic in
Well,
a
see-
very different way.
Well, and if you're picking a class that has a lot of ties with like the
Mhm.
lawful good shit, then that doesn't sound as fun.
I have never
It
played.
depends on how you want
Chaotic.
to play, I think.
I've never
but-
played-
Chaotic is fun to me.
I've never
Yes,
played either.
To most people.
I've not played either of these classes at all, but I know that Warlock gets dipped into for multi-class probably more than any other class.
Sounds right.
And Warlock is like the multi-class class.
Warlock, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I would personally rather play a. No, I think if I wasn't multi-classing, I would go for Paladin.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you really want to, you can be an evil Paladin. I mean, even in one
Yeah,
of our
he's an
campaigns,
Oathbreaker.
Gabe was a Paladin of Asmodeus.
Yeah,
So-
he was. And then I think Dylan's is an Oathbreaker Paladin.
Yeah, so
which is
there's
not the
plenty-
same, but still.
Yeah, but there's a lot of versatility. And if you want to deal damage, you want to be a tanky guy that hits hard.
while also doing some decent magic shit.
Yeah, it's hard to come close to Paladin.
Mm-hmm. Paladins are like almost a staple D&D class. Like
Yeah.
like if you ever see in commercials or just the artwork on there, it's probably a paladin for the artwork.
All right. So, well, what I'm hearing is that, like, you'd have to team the warlock up with something to make it
Most of the time, because
comparable to Paladin.
they're pretty weak by themselves. They do a lot of cool stuff. They
It's
really
hard
do.
to get their spell. They're a little janky with spells, the way they
Yes.
work. They've got all the rituals and stuff. And
Yeah.
what do they call them? Invocations. And
Yeah.
Well,
they're not traditional casters the way a lot of magic users are.
One is the coffee lock multi-class. That's a
Oh,
multi-class, isn't it?
where you never have to take a long rest?
Yeah.
That's Sorcerer Warlock.
Okay.
Because you
Yeah,
can
so
regain sorcery points on a short rest, which you can then spend for Warlock spell slots, resulting in a character that never actually has to take a long rest.
Hell, a paladin warlock multi-class is really good.
That would be
Like the-
crazy, though. What a duality.
Yeah. They use the
yeah.
same stat for it.
Yeah.
But for their shit.
well, okay. So
Oh man, this is
let's
a hard
take a
one.
vote, boys.
I don't know. You should like or dislike this video if you agree with us.
Yeah, like or dislike, depending on what we vote here.
Yeah.
For
So
paladin.
yeah, I'm
warlock.
gonna say Paladin.
I'm also gonna say paladin. Yeah.
All right, I guess we're going with Paladin. Well, and I think Paladin's the better choice if Warlock has to be paired with something. But
Mhm.
because we are more or less...
It's
thinking-
more player friendly for sure, like new player especially, paladin.
Right. Well, and say, like, if Paladin is... if it can hold up on its own and compared to
It can't
Warlock
hold on
and
it.
then
It can't hold its
also
own.
be combined, I would say that was the more superior
Like,
one.
if we ever do a video about what class is the best to multi-class into, Warlock might win that.
Yeah.
And then I think Fighter would probably be number 2.
2 levels of fighter gets you an action surge.
Exactly, Action
So,
Surge is dope.
Yeah.
Well, we're always needing to think of more D&D content.
All right.
So,
Next bracket.
yes, the next bracket, the bracket, for the last one for the round. If I can think, I can't think now, boys. I hear you talking shit over there. We have Barbarian versus Rogue.
Barbarian. It's another easy one for me.
I would vote Barbarian. I played Barbarian a little bit, and the thing I was talking about earlier with the friend I helped make a cleric and played one round as the cleric after he left. That was my first playing a Barbarian ever.
Mm.
And I did a Wild Magic Barbarian, which was cool. So, I rage and then a random effect of magic happens, which was cool.
Nice.
And
Yeah, that's-
Barbarian was fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, that one was a super easy one. But does anyone have anything?
Oh, there's
nice to say about
rogues
Rogue?
are awesome. They are
Like,
awesome.
great stealth.
Yeah.
So this is interesting because I have a barbarian that was multi-class that I love, and I have a rogue that was multi-class that I love, and they're both ended up being pretty powerful characters in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you played with either of them in games, but Dyson knows both of
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
I did play a rogue character at Will's, I know.
You played a rogue. Will played a rogue for Dragon Heist.
He did, yep.
And he did really great with his rogue. Gabe's playing a rogue right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Although that's a little different.
it's different. trying to do only rogue things for his fight last night, his 1v1 with that monster, was not going well.
He almost died.
He did.
He also went off by himself, though.
Yeah.
So.
But, a rogue should be able to, like, hide and do things, and,
But no, I think Barbarian, they hit the hardest. They move the fastest.
They also have the most potential for HP.
Yeah.
They're the only D12 for HP roller out there.
And they're the only class that can literally stay alive, as far as I'm aware, past dropping to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so...
They're too angry to die.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote Barbarian, even though rogues are really cool.
Right, so Barbarian, and yep. Barbarian gets it. Well, boys.
Maybe I don't like rogue as much because Ryan played a rogue.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Interesting, alright.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to get into it, or...?
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, just a strange guy.
He dipped in and out of D&D real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was strange.
Alright, well, that's end of round 1. What do you guys think so far?
I mean, who are our remaining
Yeah,
classes?
here's the remainders.
We have Monk, Bard, Fighter, Sorcerer, Paladin, and Barbarian.
Those are all really solid classes.
Those are solid classes.
So this
Yeah.
is going to get harder.
So are we just continuing in order, dividing the winners up in the next bracket?
And then the next round we might have to figure something out, but we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
So, first up, Monk versus Bard.
That is a tough one.
Yeah. I mean...
It's hard to, because you have to consider how to objectively weigh the classes. I mean, we decided that this was for a play experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in general, a Bard is going to have a more fun and diverse play experience. Monks, they do the punchy thing really well.
I say for role-playing, Bards are more fun.
Yeah.
For combat, Monks, I
Yeah.
think would be more fun.
And I gotta admit, I'm a sucker for role-playing.
Yeah,
so.
I enjoy roleplay too, but I also love combat.
Yeah.
Big combat guy. So I'm still deciding. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Because we
I
talked
think
about
so. I haven't played
contrasts.
some Bard characters, although I've never played the horny Bard character. I think you guys can attest. I don't know. I played a bear one time. It was a bear that was a Bard. And that was fun.
That
I
was
enjoyed
fun.
that quite a bit.
That was fun to run. Yeah.
Now, when you say bear...
I mean, like a
It
literal
was a sun
bear.
bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
I'm
so
a
they
literal game, hairy man.
So
yeah,
it was
no,
it was the campaign.
well, I mean, I get no. I never hit on anyone in that game, but
I'm not gay, I swear.
nothing wrong with being gay. I don't give a shit about that.
I don't know where these accusations are coming from.
They're coming from you, Brandon. But anyway, but no, like a bear person. There was a bear race, and we just kind of skinned it. He looked more like a bear. I walked around on all fours all the time.
Yeah. Basically, what it was is everyone was pretty much some kind of beast folk in this campaign. It was the Curse of Strahd that I ran. Like Kibbs was a
not furries.
Yeah, not furries. Yeah, Kibbs was a turtle, so he was the only one with no fur. But the rest of them, 3 of them were bears: Slater, Soren, and Gabe. And then Dylan was a wolf folk who was also a werewolf,
which was very weird.
Yeah, it was funny. So
but the whole game was
I
fun.
loved it. Yeah.
So in general, I've had a lot of fun playing Bards. So my vote is still with Bards on this one.
Wait, the whole wolf folk? So he was
a wolf folk, but he would werewolf out.
Yeah,
so he'd get bigger,
just,
stronger.
But okay,
stuff like
yeah, I was gonna
that.
ask so he just.
I mean,
violent all of a
he
sudden?
was a wolf folk, so he was like human sized and looked more humanoid, but
Okay.
head of a wolf, the fur and everything like that. He had the paws and stuff like that. But I mean, they were more
Hand
opposable.
paws.
They were like hand paws, yeah. So but then he'd werewolf out and stuff.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then the other 3. So Gabe was a polar bear that we thought was a panda for a long time.
Yeah, because he was just filthy.
Yeah, he was just gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sun Bear was what Soren played, and then was it Grizzly Bear for Slater? Yeah.
It's easy to remember because his name was Grizzly.
Yeah, he was Grizzly. Yeah.
Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, and they were all brothers, the 3 bears.
Yeah.
That's like the bear off The Simpsons. Curtis E. Bear, the courtesy bear.
Yeah. And then for one session, David joined us, and he was a dwarf.
Yeah.
So he was pretty hairy.
Yeah. He fit in just fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, still cast my vote for Bard in this specific instance.
And I think I have to vote Monk. because they're both great. I would love to play a bard. If I ever played a bard, it might change.
Right. Well, okay, so that's up to me.
It is up to you again. We have to throw in some tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
You can't just make this list and orchestrate stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the moderator, bitch.
Moderate it,
I'm just following the script, Brandon.
How can I do my job when you're like this?
You can look at. You have the classes pulled up. You can look at them, and we can keep talking about the classes if you want to. If that helps you decide. You like mischievousness. Bard's more mischievous than monk.
I know, and I've been more about that than combat. I think I have to go with bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great class. I ain't gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm
waiting for the viewers to be mad at it.
Well, it's like, I like being a dick in D&D. Like, I like screwing with people.
Bard's great for that.
Bard is definitely good for that.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So what's our next matchup?
Yeah.
Next on the list, we have Fighter versus Sorcerer.
Honestly, I think this is a pretty easy one for me. Sorcerers are fun, but fighters are just way better to play. You have a lot more options than with a sorcerer.
Yeah, sorcerers are definitely fun, but I'm voting fighter also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we want to discuss how they can compare?
I mean,
the contrast.
I think the fun of a
sorcerer's main thing is
also
Eldritch Blast is like.
No, that's
get
Warlock.
That, stuff? That is Warlock. That
Yeah.
gets Eldritch Blast. Okay, so what is sorcerer?
They get the regular damaging cantrips. Their big thing is going to be the wild magic.
Oh, that's right, wild magic.
So which makes them fun.
Yeah.
But is also potentially detrimental.
It is.
And as it gets more powerful, the detriments get a lot worse potentially.
It's
like you whip yourself in the eye type of situation.
It's one of the chaos classes.
Yeah. Whereas I think fighter is just way more.
There's so many different ways to play your fighter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a lot of sorcerer options insofar as like your magical
are.
background and that kind of stuff.
But the versatility of fighter.
Yeah, but it's all going to be magic, and you can still do some magic as a fighter if you really want to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say definitely fighter for this one.
Yeah, fighter.
Fighter's fair.
Yep.
All right.
And there we go. We pissed off some more people getting sorcerer out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, those pissed off people should subscribe because we're definitely going to keep doing that.
I'm thinking on the next round, maybe we should just have fighter go, like, just be sent to the finals.
Or we can vote out of the losers what we think is the best one, and they fight this next one.
What are we going to be left with?
We're going to be left with three, which will be Bard, Fighter, and
how do we just compare all three?
Yeah, we
can do all three.
Yeah,
that'll work. What's our
a little
time?
triangle battle.
Oh,
yeah, we're doing all right.
We're good. Yeah, we're fine.
Well, it doesn't have to be an hour, so.
Yeah. Exactly. I like the idea of at least 30.
Yeah. We're sitting comfy.
We're sitting pretty. Yeah.
All right. So for the last one of round 2, we have Paladin versus Barbarian.
So this one is interesting. The choice is actually easy for me as to which one I would rather be.
Well, hold on.
But
do you have a choice as to which one you would rather be?
I mean, for like 4 hours I played a Barbarian, and then I've never played Paladin. They're both.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're both great. I just have to decide what I like more.
Both heavy hitters in some parts.
Both are heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Paladin gets some magic in there, but there are some options for barbarians that have magic, like a wild magic barbarian.
Gotcha.
Like the sorcerer almost.
You can do what I did and take a 3-level warlock dip.
Yeah.
So which one?
Yes, multi-class, of course.
Which one did you prefer?
Oh, it's hands down barbarian between those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was kind of leaning barbarian because I've never played a paladin, and barbarians are more of the they're fun to roleplay too. Even though your main thing is to just fucking hit stuff.
You can play dumb smashy barbarian, but you don't have to.
Yeah, and you can be a more civilized one who just rages in combat, which is also fun. It's almost like more of a wrath instead of a rage.
Okay, so it has kind of the best worlds of role playing and
it can do both. Yeah, you really can do both.
I feel like Paladin locks you into more of a specific role play style, being as it has to be something lawful
most of the time. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, so
yeah, you're following rules as a paladin normally.
All right, so this seems. I'm guessing.
I'm going with barbarian.
Yeah, and then you're barbarian.
Yeah, for sure, barbarian in this case.
All right, barbarian it is.
2 B's and an F for the last classes.
Oh yeah. PFB. All right, boys, we are finally down to the final round. This one we probably want to take a minute to actually discuss before we rush into it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the Bard loves the fact that it's a threesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bard will love
there we
that.
go. Bard's getting some points already.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, so we have Bard versus Fighter versus Barbarian. What do we think?
I'm not surprised it came down to 3 incredibly iconic
Classes.
D&D classes.
Yeah, 100%. They are all great classes.
So, I don't know, do we want to try and rank them in order? We should all just come up with our own personal ranking. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I already have mine in order.
I have an order too.
Alright,
Yeah.
do you have an order, Brandon?
Yeah.
Alright, so my order is going to be Bard, Fighter, Barbarian.
Mine is Fighter, Barbarian, Bard.
Mine was Bard, Fighter, Barbarian. Wait, what was yours again?
Fighter, Barbarian, Bard.
Bard
See,
is at
the
the
thing
bottom
is,
of my
I
list there.
love playing a
never played a Bard.
Barbarian.
Right.
And
I love
Bard's-
playing a Barbarian so much.
Yeah.
But I still think that the Bard has a much greater variety of options for
It does.
both roleplay and combat even.
It does,
Mhm.
yeah.
You could fucking be, what's his name? The fucker with the flute that controls the mice.
Oh yes, the Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, you could just basically be that if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You can do almost anything with a Bard, yeah.
I mean, I was a
They're just
Bard
squishy.
that utilized polymorph a lot when I was the bear.
Yes.
I turned myself into a bigger bear.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
What's with our group and always, like, turning themselves into, the same thing?
I mean, it's just fun.
Yeah,
It
it's fun.
is-
Yeah,
it
it's
is
funny.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of it kind of like a digivolution when I became a bear that turned into a bigger bear. So,
That makes sense. Yeah.
subscribe for Digimon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love like the whole like Wolfman to werewolf. It's like I just imagine like I don't know, maybe a 6-pack had it on. Like
Yeah.
I know you described it earlier, but like just to dumb it down.
I mean, yeah, it just like hulks out essentially. It's the werewolf version of the Hulk.
Yeah. But it's
ruins
like
his clothes every
well,
time.
what I would love
Yeah.
is like it was that dramatic, but then it's just like a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
nothing else. Still like the same size arms, everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just a 6-pack. Like, oh,
Yeah.
It's like his gut got tighter. Like,
Check it out. Did you transform? I did.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a time for a night out on the town. It's like that's the night he gets laid. Like
Yeah.
I
once
mean,
every
who
2
knows what he
weeks.
was getting up to? He ran off into the wilderness with a wolf pack a lot
He
in
did
that
do
campaign.
that a lot, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, he was fucking.
There's also a way of just working in like, oh, he was gone for this session and now he's back. While he was gone, it's like, oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
out in the
yeah.
woods messing with other wolves and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, having their orgies.
Yeah.
I mean, wolf packs. That's what they have to be doing half the time, right?
No, I believe only the dominant male and female mate and have pups.
Oh,
That keeps them from getting overpopulated. For the
They-
most part, at least.
they recognize that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's why they have an alpha
Yep.
for each gender.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, from what I have understood, they're not exactly alphas. It's just that the fact the pack is usually made up mostly of their children, so
Yeah,
it's
I
more
guess.
like these wolves are the parents of their pack
Gotcha.
that we perceive as the alphas.
Gotcha. Anyway, so back on track.
And back to D&D stuff.
Yes.
There's
so-
wolves in D&D.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Bard versus Fighter versus Barbarian. Does anyone want to defend one or the other?
I mean, based
you
on
and I had the same order.
yeah, as I
so-
say,
yeah.
based on that, we can go ahead and say Bard wins just because you guys have the same order.
Technically,
So Bard is
because
the premier
if you,
D&D
like,
class?
Added up the vote ratio, I guess. Yeah, Bard. Even with it being last place for you, overall it would perform best with the 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fighter would be second on ours, but then that was first on
For you,
yours.
so
Would
it's
that-
second overall.
So, okay, yeah, that
Uh-huh.
would make it second.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
our orders being identical, since there's an
Yes.
even number of us, puts it
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So there we go, guys. The canonical order for the best of the final 3 classes is Bard, Fighter, Barbarian.
Which is also what it is on the paper for the bracket.
Yeah, perfect.
It's the bracket order.
It's fate. That's why it happened that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But ultimately, Bard is the winner.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is.
And if you don't like it, tell us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us how wrong we are.
And feel free to shit on any one of these classes. We don't
Yes.
Yeah,
do
so
it.
if you disagree with the order, then you should put your order down there in the comments.
Yeah.
care. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's hear, like, if let's hear your Bard versus Fighter versus Barbarian
Oh, and
order.
like what you said, we should look up the play data for most played to least played class.
Let's do that before we end this.
Yeah, so we can see, and then maybe we can correlate that with what classes surely like good and what ones are shitty.
We already know we're slightly off because didn't you say Fighter was first? If I saw that?
Fighter's the most played, yeah, and I think Druid's the least played. But I mean, we got our list. I want to see where Bard is on that list because if it's like number 2, then I mean,
That'd be hilarious,
it holds,
Yep.
it holds merit.
Okay, yeah, we got to pad out this time a little bit while Brandon searches for some information.
Yeah, he doesn't
So,
want. He doesn't want to
I
cut
mentioned
any of it.
earlier that I had some multi-class characters, one of which was a barbarian. His name was Chaz. He's a bugbear.
Yes.
I mean, his name is not was technically. We're still playing that
Yes,
game.
Yeah.
But,
We're hopefully playing Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I'm playing it.
Chaz is a fun one.
Yeah, Chaz is fun. But he's barbarian warlock multi-class.
Alrighty. So, would you guys like to know the order backwards?
Oh no, fuck it. Just tell us the first one first. and go
First
down
one?
from the top.
Alright,
just top to
alright.
bottom. And if,
Although I will say,
if any of the extra classes are in there, cool. We'll have that list, but we'll just ignore them for the
Right.
purpose of the list we just made.
yeah, I will say that earlier I did say I think that people would be disappointed about the Druid.
Mm-hmm.
It is number 12. So
Yeah, no.
never
So
mind.
nobody's disappointed.
Nobody
Yeah,
is-
it's
no.
literally my first 5e class, but I liked the idea.
Fighter
Fighter's number
is
1.
number 1.
Which it came in at number 2 on our list,
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
tracks.
Rogue is number 2.
Rogue's number 2.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Rogue.
Rogue got eliminated in the first round.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, I can see it being up there with a lot of people, though.
A lot of people play Rogue. They
That's
like
another one. That's an edgelord
sneaky-
character. Rogues are an edgelord
Yes.
character.
Well, and then also if you can just
sneaky
be
steely.
if you just be hidden and do anything you want the entire time, then
Mhm.
yeah, I can see why a lot of
There's a
people
lot
would go for
of
that.
dual wielding with rogues also.
And then of course
Oh.
Wizard, but that makes sense.
Also got eliminated in the first
Mhm.
round.
Yeah, a lot of people who do play D&D do turn it more into a lifestyle anyway.
So you want to be a wizard. I get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to be a wizard.
Go play Wizard 101.
Hey.
Number 4, Barbarian.
Okay.
And that makes
I
sense.
mean, it
to
holds
me.
merit as one of our top 3.
Yeah, they're so much fun to play.
Yeah.
But we have not seen the Bard yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet it's somewhere in the middle.
Well, people probably don't like wow, Cleric
Clear. Yeah.
is
Mhm.
number 5.
I mean, I understand. This is the most played, though, right?
yes.
So somebody is usually going to be a healer in a party. So
Yeah,
it
that's
makes sense
true.
that cleric would fall.
Yeah.
Well,
around the middle
that's
of the
another thing I
list.
liked about the Druid, though, because they have a lot of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what is it? A druid and a paladin can be like an almost unstoppable duo because of the way they can heal each other almost constantly.
Yeah, I mean, there is a multi-class for the Druid where you can just make good berries instead of 1 HP, give like insane amounts of HP, and just make your Druid healer absolutely monstrous.
That's
So your party
fantastic.
just doesn't die,
Sensu beans.
pretty much. A Ranger. There's a lot of
Ugh.
weirdos out there.
Yeah, there are.
We've already decided Ranger's
Yep.
the weird class.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Honestly, that opinion just comes
Who-
from like one really weird guy playing a ranger,
Yeah.
and he just is so weird that he tips the scales. Anyways.
Paladin at number 7. You'd think that one would be more common. Because, like I said, on any artwork and stuff I've seen, especially by like Wizards of the Coast and stuff, there's like a paladin.
Yeah,
in
but
there.
I think that idea, like the straight-laced guy, only appeals to a smaller percentage of
Yeah.
D&D players.
Yeah, for
Most
sure.
people want to take it the chaotic way.
Yes. More
Yeah,
fun.
this is
More
not
fun to be
looking-
chaotic.
It's not looking good for us, boys.
For the bar.
I mean, they're gonna have to rearrange their list. I don't know. What to
yeah,
tell you.
Yeah.
they're clearly
Well,
wrong.
Yeah.
who knows how old this list is, because it probably doesn't have any of the new, like, added classes. So.
Oh yeah, well it doesn't.
There might
it
not be
doesn't.
an updated version. This is the most recent, which is probably from like late 2010s.
But
you know,
Warlock being 9.
Warlock 9
Or no,
or
8.
8.
8. Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. 9. Oh, 9's Monk.
9 is a monk.
Ah. Okay.
Which that's a little surprising. Monk is, I mean, unless it's the religious
Well,
aspect.
they're squishy.
I mean, I think probably if you're a really religious person that wants to put that into your D&D game, you go for a paladin, though, right?
Yeah, or cleric.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
And there.
my guess is Bard is down here at 10 because they're also kind of squishy.
Well, they also have the reputation for being troublemakers.
Yes.
So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't want to bard in my game," because of that stuff. And there are people that don't understand persuasion and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Some people just don't like to have fun.
yeah, and they're losers.
Yeah, and don't like other people having fun.
Sorcerer at 11.
That makes sense.
I can see that. Yeah.
So that means Druid is 12.
Yeah, Druid's
So-
12. Yep.
All right. Well, I think we have ourselves a podcast, boys. Anyone want to do the outro?
I don't have an outro planned. Do you have an outro?
Oh no, I don't have an outro plan. I just did an intro. But there's not a lot of people that even listen up to this point anyway. So.
Yeah, so.
If
I
you
was-
do,
let's-
welcome to the sad portion
let's
of
get
the
the
podcast.
yeah. Let's
If
get
you're
the fucking
hearing us
intro
say
right
these
first.
things right now, we love you.
Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you for
yes.
watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for enduring this
Or
shitty
listening
outro.
because we didn't record any video. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can just hear us.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
just
hear
put
us.
us on in the background all the time.
And you know what? I'll just go ahead and
Boost
put
those
the.
numbers.
I'll go ahead and just put some music in right here. Now that
Yeah.
we have a little music, yeah, and it's just it just faded in. You guys have any final thoughts as it fades out?
Just that they can
No,
subscribe
I
if
think-
they want to hear more of us talking about stuff.
I think we have a good list, and it'll be interesting to see how our list changes with other people who we play D&D with.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys hear that sound? It's a great sound. Anyway, good night.
Yeah. Toodles.